mouth speaks.
Hi Gemini, Taurus, Moon sign people. Welcome to your April 5th Pisces new moon reading. This is Pisces for your Vedic moon sign. You want to check the links below and make sure that you are not also Gemini in your Vedic moon sign. We're moving more into just looking at the Vedic moon signs because in my work with Mama Drama Trauma, I'm noticing, and basically I've been noticing, but confirmation that the healing is really happening working with the Vedic signs. And for you, this energy for this new moon is 11th house energy. And so this has a lot to do with your hopes. It has to do with your dreams for your life, your associations that make those dreams come true, that you've built over a period of time. And this is really working with the fact that Mars is in your first lunar house. All of these readings are based on your first lunar house, and that is Taurus, Gemini in the Western. Now, again, not so much about the Western, but we're looking at moon yogas with Vedic lunar astrology. Healing Mama Drama Trauma, condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma, is healed through connecting to the mother of all mothers. The mother of all mothers is that still small voice within. Our intuition, our highest selves. It is the voice of our soul. Now, in Vedic astrology, the sun is the soul. So the sun sign is that soul personality. The moon is how it feels. It is the repository of its memories over many lifetimes. The soul knows its karma. It also transmits and communicates back and forth through that physical life of the ascendant, that ego life, the emotions. And so the moon is a satellite transmitter. Essentially, the first satellite before the human mind created satellites, the moon. So Great Mother, the mother of all mothers, is the true transmitter of our emotional and our intuitional experience in this physical body. We associate that with our physical mother until we connect with Great Mother, which is why we do that in healing Mama Drama Trauma. You cannot heal from it if you are still connected to the guilt, blame, and shame that perpetuates it. So working with the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck and with my inner work coaching at greatmotherspeaks.info, we learn how to grieve the mother that we want in order to accept the one that we have. New moon readings have to do with being able to clearly see what you have learned over the previous lunar cycle in terms of the lessons of MDT. MDT is a soul contract between two souls, and so the lessons always occur. It's a lifetime of healing, but they're always occurring in two areas: our area of evolving in self-love and of evolving in spiritual independence. That, again, personal connection to our inner soul selves, the truth of who we are, as opposed to projecting that reality of who we are, what we feel onto others, first and foremost, our wounded mother. Okay? So those wounded mother issues are only healed when we become conscious of this process and we begin to work with it. These are the lunar yogas: 12th house, first house, second house. We tend to think of these in Vedic astrology as the houses that are active during Sati Sati. And Sati Sati is a reset period of 7 years. It's a lunar phase when Saturn goes through 12th, first, and second lunar house. You want to check the links below to double check. That means you want to watch the right video. And so this shifting is occurring again because I said that I'm just really seeing that the most effective healing is happening with the Vedic moon signs. And so let's see what Great Mother has to say to you this new moon. New moon has to do with us moving forward into a new lunar cycle of soul evolution. You might want to check out that reading for your sun sign, because in Vedic astrology, that is your soul sign. And the satellite of the moon, Great Mother energy, does that communication between the ascendant, which is the ego, how the soul expresses itself, its personality, and the soul with the moon satellite. And so this being the darkest phase is when most of the intuitive information is being downloaded, and again, being downloaded to you and for you in a very Gemini manner. This new moon is in your 9th house. So it has to do with your dharma, your life purpose. And of course, with healing mama drama trauma, we know that that has a lot to do with healing MDT, which is healed through an evolution in self-love and spiritual independence. This new moon, the downloads from the culmination of emotional and intuitive experiences last lunar cycle is a centering energy. Yogas, body, mind, soul. Clicking of the heels 3 times here with Dorothy. Dorothy getting her power back, that bloom. Dorothy and the 3 reflecting aspects of her. This 3-3 energy is coming up for you. It's an energy that is 3 times 3, your 9th house. It's an energy that is 3 times 4, it's your 12th house, which is where the North Node is right now in Gemini in the Vedic. And so this downloading of soul information for you having to do with your soul wanting to be centered in your body. Sometimes we hear in inner healing work the phrase being outside of our body. That means not feeling. So that happens through a process of numbing through addictions, whether it's sexual, whether it's food, whether it is drug addiction. That numbing makes this disassociation with the soul intensify trauma, because trauma is soul disassociation. Okay, when the soul is kind of outside of the body, when those chakras are completely out of balance. And so this centering energy for you, it's really having to do with an awareness that that is where you are in terms of this soul contract. You're centering yourself in the awareness that you're beginning this process of going home. This Cancer moon energy is, of course, very powerful, being ruled by the moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The nakshatra that this Pisces new moon is in is Uttarabhadrapada. And Uttarabhadrapada is ruled by Saturn. It's a very intelligent Piscean energy that is grounded in its mysticism. And so that's what your soul is really wanting to do this new moon cycle. It's wanting to be grounded in you, as you, through you, your physical body, your ego sense of yourself. And when Great Mother talks about ego, she's talking about who you define yourself as this lifetime in this body. That's the work that your soul wants to do this lunar cycle. This may be coming to you, be downloaded to you in a sense of you feeling reborn, you feeling like you're being revitalized as it relates to your relationship with your mother, your relationship to your own children, your sense of yourself, and realizing that you're not guilty, you are not to blame, you are not to be shamed, because you cannot control, you did not cause, and you cannot cure your mother's MDT. It is a soul contract. And so you're being reborn in your sense of consciousness around MDT this lunar cycle. And you are sensing that because your soul is wanting to center itself in this knowing. And this is important because what I found in my early work with MDT was a frustration with individuals not accepting that they had MDT, persistent denial. And what I have learned is happening with people oftentimes is that there is a sense of knowing that there's MDT, but they are not aware that there is a life beyond MDT. And so a part of them wants to hold on to it because they really genuinely feel like that's their only foundation. That's you can say whatever you want to say, but they feel in their body that that's it. Their mother is all that they have, and so they're not going to let that go regardless of how toxic it is. And I didn't realize the gravity of that with many people. My MDT started as an adult when my mother became an alcoholic, and so up to that point I was pretty grounded. And so I didn't realize that for many people who have had MDT their entire lives, that was not something that they were familiar with. They hadn't had that healthy foundation. And so they didn't know what that was. They didn't know that that was possible. And what Great Mother is coming through, who is the ruler of your moon sign, Great Mother energy, lunar energy, in your ninth house, your life purpose is to heal it. And this is coming to you as you're going to be reborn with this sense of maternal nurturing and support, sensitivity and compassion and understanding around you that you haven't experienced before, that you don't know. And this is what you're getting. Now, in your shadow position is that you're thinking that this is some kind of scam. That even though you're feeling it with this strong Cancer moon, you are processing it with this Leo second house energy, emotional energy that's like, okay, so this like this kind of like, all right, so what am I supposed to do with this type of thing? Okay, so what kind of game are we going to play now type of thing? And it's not a game. In your shadow position is Ishtar, the prostitute card. And this is all about, okay, are we going to sell ourselves out due to insecurity and fear? Or are we going to go with what we know, our intuitive wisdom, and live up to the greatest part within ourselves that we know ourselves to be? What choice are we going to make? How are we going to shine and reflect that solar light from our moon, from our emotion and our intuitive space, that sun that's shining, that full moon light that's coming up the 19th, this Virgo Libra full moon that's coming up. Now, notice this is second chakra energy, which rules Libra. And so this balancing that's happening for you is all about you really being able to recognize that even though there may be some shame, blame, and guilt still happening for you, this rebirth is real and it's not a game. Second chakra is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in your sixth house, conjunct the South Node for about 20 days this month. Okay, and that's starting about the 10th until like, the 1st of May. Mercury is shifting. Jupiter is shifting out of Capricorn into Sagittarius. It's going retrograde for a few days. And this period of time, you're going to be able to reflect on those sixth house issues in terms of your dharma, your what you have to give to the world, your healing power that you have to give to the world, or the healing power that you need to receive from the world in this rebirthing process, depending on where you are in it. So some of you need to receive healing from the world, which is going to really center you and reground you in the world as a safe place to be. Some of you who may already be in that space of knowing that you're in a safe place to be, you've been doing your inner work with me or with others, you have found that you have that support and you are ready to share it and to teach it and to prostitute yourself in ways that honor yourself, that you are enjoying what you have to give to the world and you are profiting from it as others profit from it as well. What you are really wanting this lunar cycle is to process all of this in a way that is productive for you. You really are wanting to align with all of this. You really are wanting to accept the reality of mama drama trauma and what it has taught you and what it is teaching you. Mars is in your 11th house, and so there's a real true sense of connecting with others in a more genuine way based on this new awareness, and you're going to do it because the support that you have is Inanna. Inanna is that Mesopotamian energy that is the ancient center of the world energy, the ancient space of trade and exchange, that rebirthing energy of renewal, of consciousness, of currency. And speaking of currency, Uranus is in your 10th house right now. And so your 10th house, once you're clear about your life purpose, it's really actively sharing that with the world in ways that you're conscious of it in your inner space. And so you are embracing the shadow of MDT. You're saying, okay, it is what it is. However, I'm recognizing all of what it is. I'm recognizing and I'm centering myself in my third eye, my soul sign of Cancer, and I'm experiencing my divinity. And so Mama Drama Trauma simply is an experience for me to evolve in self-love and spiritual independence as a divine child of the great Mother, Father, God, who has forgotten I am dearly loved, who has forgotten I'm never judged, condemned, or left alone. And so I'm embracing all of that. And I'm making choices going forward to face the challenge of reintroducing myself to myself, of allowing my soul to really embody me fully and to face the challenge of that and to speak that into the world. Now, throat chakra is ruled by Mercury, which rules your 12th lunar house, which is how you download intuitive information. It's very Geminian, and so it's very intelligent, very diplomatic. You can see kind of both sides of the situation, and you really are seeing and being compassionate with your mother, those in your family, even your children who up to this point where you have not been healed, they have been reacting and they've been triggered the same way that you have, which is what has brought you to this healing space. You didn't want that cycle to continue, but even still, you're compassionate with them because you can see, because you were there just a minute ago. And now you're moving forward into that space where you can also see of your divinity, where you're able to express and accept that Cancer and energy of centering yourself and owning up to all of who you are. This is the present state of your ego soul alignment, Cancer moon sign people. You are facing this challenge. Why your soul wants to do the centering work is because it wants you to be very clear that the law of mystery and divine order is really active for you in helping you with third quarter moon energy to actively this Martian energy, as we said, that is in your 11th house, to release those associations, to release a sense of you not having what you need to move forward, because 11th house is also the house of hidden gains. So there are things that up to this point where there was a negative sense of giving of your gifts and your talents in a way that you weren't looking at your life purpose, which is to heal MDT, that you've really reallocated or you're in the process of reallocating those inner resources so that you can embrace the mystery and divine order of healing your MDT. This is why your soul wants to do this centering work, so you can embrace it even more. You can release even more all the 6th house energy that you have in the South Node with Pluto, Saturn, and now Jupiter joining it for this lunar cycle. You're going to get huge releases that's going to allow you to further embrace the mystery of the soul contract. It's a lifelong soul contract. It is a yellow brick road journey. It's a very illustrious journey as it relates to how you recreate yourself and relationships in your life. And that's what this lunar cycle is about, is how you're doing that within yourself, really first and foremost, how you're recreating your sense of life purpose, your sense of what does that translate for me? The more that I love myself, what does that mean? I can love my children more. I can be more genuinely involved in my association 11th house contracts. I can more accurately assess what those hidden gains are, those hidden gifts and talents and abilities are, so that I can share them in more meaningful ways for me to be fulfilled in my divinity and for me to truly experience that. Because you experience your emotions as Cancer, but you process them as Leo, remember? And so Leo is ruled by the sun. You might want to check out again that sun sign video for you to kind of see what's happening in terms of those processing of those emotions with regard to that Leo energy. Because how your soul wants to do this work is by being open. It wants you to be completely open to Akhenaten energy, to releasing all of those 6th house things, those debts, disputes, diseases that perpetuate the blame, shame, and guilt of mama drama trauma. There are diseases, cancers associated with the anger associated with MDT. You know, addictions, we talk about those a lot here. All of those things are the energetic foundation of these diseases. And why are they part of our genetic makeup? MDT is a cycle. And so we repeat cycles based on behaviors that we've been conditioned to have and to regard as normal. And we're saying that this lunar cycle, what Great Mother is indicating to us is that there's a recentering taking place, that the soul wants to do in a very open way. Heart chakra energy is that energy that says, look, I'm willing to be broken in order to be remade. I'm willing to be broken in order to be reborn. We do not have to die to be reborn. You know that? Death is not necessary to be reborn. You are going through that process right now. And so, although it can be an excruciating process, it is the most rewarding process that we can ever have in our lives. I've done some very rewarding things in my life. You know, I've traveled and lived in Africa as a very young woman. I have studied in the Ivory Towers, Northwestern University, London School of Economics. I have my master's in this, that, and the other. I've traveled the world doing corporate training, this, that, and the other. Nothing compares to the accomplishment of healing mama drama trauma. Let me tell you, that's why I'm here talking to two people about it. Okay? And I'm happy to tell you that as a result of you doing your work, Cancer Moon Sign people, the most likely outcome is Nefertiti. Nefertiti is you owning your beauty. So working this lunar cycle from this very powerful full moon second chakra energy of Jupiter doing all this release work this lunar cycle, you're going to find, and we'll have a full moon reading as well to follow up on this, that by the end of it, this waning energy that comes after the full moon, leading to the end of this lunar cycle, there'll be a sense of you owning your beauty, of you owning your dharma, of you owning that sense of what your gifts, your talents, and abilities are, and your ability to receive that love that you need from the world to ground yourself, from me, from others, from those in your family, or for some of you who already have the support that you need, and sharing that with your family and your associations in ways that continue to center you along your yellow brick road. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you. And I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.